First, Amazon kills the internet without warning. Then, pilots start sounding terrified mid-flight. And now, shadow operatives crawl out of nowhere at Charlie Kirk's shooting. These are not random events, they're ripples. The question is, what's causing the wave, and why does every sign point to the end of this month? We are going deep on this video, and it starts with this ominous announcement by a pilot.
Above temperatures, my challenge is I can't go down through freezing temperatures once I get to Dallas, so I'm much more looking at staying lower. But we're going to get out and give it a try. It looks like there's enough holes in the clouds, we should be able to get into some clear skies, and we're just going to try and stay there as long as we can. If we have to descend, we will. If we have to go a little bit further east or west, we'll do that as well. But we'll do it, and the worst thing is we might end up, hold on a second. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to keep it safe. It's going to be, not a standard commercial flight, folks. I'll just tell you that now. But it's safe. We'll keep it safe, and I'm confident we will make it to Dallas. All right, it's just going to be a little bit longer. We're looking at probably about 2 hours and 30-minute flight time, depending on what the weather is en route. I can possibly make some shortcuts and trim off 30 minutes, 40 minutes of that, but I won't know till I get up there. Okay. All right.
Not gonna lie, I'd be pretty hesitant to get on a plane if my pilot started mumbling about the worst possible outcome. But lately, things in the airline industry have been getting even creepier. Just a few days ago, I saw a story about a pilot who made a terrifying mid-flight announcement, and it left everyone on board completely stunned.
Over the intercom and said, unfortunately, we have some bad news. The aircraft has collided with an object. He didn't specify what the object was, but then he informed us we would have to make an emergency landing in Salt Lake City.
Now, initially, they didn't know what hit the plane, but the damage clearly showed that it was not a small object.
Posted publicly to X, show the windshield to the Boeing 737 MAX airplane busted, and the pilot's arm left bleeding and bruised.
I was looking out the window just thinking, like, we could go down at any time. So it was really scary.
Well, now the CEO of a weather tech company called Windborne Systems has come forward claiming that one of their weather balloons might have struck the plane. But here's where things get really concerning. Windborne has launched thousands of these balloons, and they typically float between 30 and 40,000 feet in the air, the same altitude where most commercial jets fly. And since these balloons can't simply steer out of the way, collisions like this may be less of a freak accident and more of an eventuality. And here's the part that should really raise your eyebrows. Some of Windborne's biggest clients include NOAA, the US Air Force, and the US Navy, which makes you wonder who's actually keeping track of what's drifting above us. Now, moving on, I want to talk about this kill switch theory because a lot of people now believe that Amazon was actually testing it to see if they can really shut down a big part of the internet.
Amazon is down and we're really just digging the fuck around. Everyone's digging around, we're getting pictures. It's been 3 hours.
There's nothing to be scared of in the pictures.
Nothing. They don't have any information for us, which is crazy. And it's not just Amazon. Did you hear it? I believe in the kill switch. I believe in it. They're just trying to test it out, see if it works. And it does. It's working.
They're cleansing it right now from everything.
It is crazy that we started at 120 and it's 3:30 and they're not offering any VTO.
I don't know if they can, if the system's down.
Yeah, I think they have to answer to Amazon.
Yeah.
As long as we're getting paid, I'm not even...
That's all I care about.
That's really all I get. Like, that's fine.
Look, you can say she's just a warehouse worker, so what does she know about all of this? Well, I want to remind you that Jeff Bezos is also just the grandson of the guy who created DARPA and, in turn, gave us the internet. He has some very deep connections to these shady agencies, and I won't be surprised if his company is testing some kind of top-secret DARPA program. And since we're talking about shady agencies, I just saw a video that exposes probably the strangest strangest man who's been all over the Charlie Kirk incident. The video comes from a TikToker, and she does a great job exposing this guy named Skylar Baird. She shows us how he was giving so many interviews, even though he had no real connection to Charlie.
Watched the video for like 10. It's like maybe 10 or 15 feet away when it happened.
Close as he could.
To my left is security, and in the front of me is a security guard, and then nothing else, just Charlie. The story was that Charlie Kirk was murdered for his political views.
And as everyone contemplates what's next,
There's a cancer growing in our society
he hopes for reflection.
because there's a real cancer in our society.
I know you were talking about the excitement there and focusing on the positive. So how do you want to make sure that he's remembered?
Now, interestingly, he was also standing at a very suspicious angle when the assassination took place.
Okay, if you notice here, Skylar is, the arrow is pointing it, and he's got those sunglasses kind of on top of his head, and then you're going to see Charlie's bodyguard right there. So you see how they're kind of up against the wall? This was taken before it all started. This was around noon. So he's kind of up in the crowd, and the bodyguard is up in the crowd, which I find very odd because he's like behind the gate up into the crowd. And what you're going to see next is it'll be the live footage of someone recording it. And this is around, like I said, noon, I believe. There they are. The bodyguard's kind of looking back towards him. And that's Skylar right there with the glasses on his head. Now, do you see how far back they are kind of in the audience? Now you're actually going to see where Skylar and the bodyguard move to a completely different area once Charlie gets there and the questions get started. So there is the bodyguard directly in front of Charlie, and then Skylar is over to the side with those sunglasses on his head, directly off to the side corner of Charlie. So, and that's exactly how he described it.
On top of this, he has no media credentials or even a following of sorts, and yet they gave him some random front row seats at the memorial last minute, even though a lot of people couldn't even get inside.
Here he is sitting on the main floor at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and I'm going to get to that in a second because it's on his Facebook. But when we get to his Facebook page, something I really noticed was he's got 4K followings. So you think he'd have like a lot of stuff on his page that is interesting, because I mean, I'm going to follow someone if their page has got, all this awesome content on it, and I want to go back and, view it all. He literally from 2018 to 2025 has maybe 7 posts and like 10 pictures. This is his page, his Facebook page. I followed it so I could, following it so I could view everything as if I'm following him. No reels, no nothing. He's a digital creator for what? This is all he has. That's 2018, 8 posts. But listen to him here.
Just made it to the stadium. There is an unlimited amount of security, Secret Service, military, police. Empty. Steel barricades all around. Yeah, they're definitely protecting this place. All signs point to us not being able to get in, that the stadium's already overflown. The overflow's already overflown.
Okay, notice how he said, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in because people have been waiting out here forever. Okay, but then he gets a floor pass and gets to sit literally a few rows back on the main floor with a pass that says media. How?
So the question is, who the hell is this guy, and why was he all over the news giving these strange interviews? And let's be clear, there are other people who also had pretty strange interviews right after the shooting.
Basically, I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Can you describe just Did he appear to be moving afterward, or what?
Not at all. I personally believe he was dead on impact.
Now, you can say she couldn't really see where the bullet hit, but the problem is we can't ask her any questions anymore, thanks to that gag order the judge issued. However, we might finally have the identity of the people who paved over the entire crime scene just days after the shooting.
What's up, guys? Hey, I just want to share a quick post here. I got a call about a week and a half ago from a couple of maintenance guys from the state of Utah that had been asked to to beautify an area where a brother had been gunned down. It was Sunday. I usually don't work on Sunday, but I needed to be useful. And so I showed up with a couple of my brother, with a couple of other brothers that we all have differing beliefs and differing viewpoints. And together we were useful. It was heavy to work where a brother was gunned down, but we did it. And I've wanted to make a post. I haven't wanted to be controversial. America is founded on people with different beliefs working together. And that's exactly what we did that Sunday and that Monday. And I'm getting some hate online for it. I'm getting some fake reviews. And, the answer to hate is love. And the answer to falsehood is truth.
His name is Daniel, and he runs a company called Hardscape Utah. Now, you can decide if you believe his explanation or not, but I have a very different question here. Why is the state of Utah trying to hire construction workers on a Sunday to pave over a fresh crime scene? If this guy is telling the truth, Spencer Cox needs to answer this question, because right now it just looks like they were trying to bury any evidence that could have been left behind. But of course, we all know what these guys are gonna say whenever we ask such questions.
Thank you. And then Director Patel, there's been so many conspiracy theories swirling around about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do you have any updates for us, especially in light of all the online content that everyone's been talking about?
The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts. We delivered in record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours. And if you put that in perspective to Luigi Mangione or the Boston bomber, they took them 5 days and a police officer lost their life in their manhunt. We are running out absolutely every single lead. And the best thing we can do to honor my friend Charlie Kirk's life is to make sure that everyone involved is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And that's what we're focused on, investigating the facts, not trading in conspiracy theories.
Now, since we're talking about construction, let's discuss the demolition of the East Wing facade of the White House. Many politicians have tried to criticize the construction of this ballroom. Even Gavin Newsom took a shot at the president. Of course, he failed to tell us how he's used public funds to pay his donors. But I am not here to discuss this criticism because at the end of the day, the president has said that he is not using our taxpayer dollars to do this. However, I just want to talk about the potential donors who attended a dinner at the White House on October 15th. Apparently, the guest list included senior executives from prominent American companies, including Blackstone, OpenAI, Microsoft, Coinbase, Palantir, Lockheed Martin, Amazon, and Google. I'm sure you can already see what's wrong here. Some of these companies are hurting everyday Americans, and not by accident, but by design. I mean, we all know how Blackstone has been gobbling up our homes and raising rents all over the country. Then there's Microsoft, which of course has Bill Gates written all over it, and I'm sure no American wants to see him anywhere near the president. And last but not least is Palantir, whose founder loves saying things like this.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
Yes?
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in this. Yeah, transhumanism is this, the ideal was this radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body. The trans people in a sexual context, or a transvestite, is someone who changes their clothes and cross dresses. Is not that it's weird and unnatural. It's so pathetically little. And okay, we want more than cross dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind and change your whole body.
So I really want to know what you guys think. Should we be accepting donations from these people, or is it time to start calling them out for what they really are? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And before we go, I've got something interesting to show you.
It will pass closest to the sun on October 29th, 2025. I got a text message the other day from someone who said that he is trading options on the volatility of the market with an expiration date of October 29th in order to make money. And I immediately thought that I don't know if there will be meaning to money if this object turns out to be technological after October 29th. If you want to take a vacation, take it before that date. Because who knows what will happen.
Look, I'm not saying a meteor is going to hit us on the 29th, but let's not forget that Professor Avi Loeb has worked closely with the Pentagon and with ARO. And if you caught what he just said, it almost sounded like he slipped up, like he accidentally revealed something big that's coming at the end of this month. So please stay sharp, stay safe, and do not ever stop questioning what they tell you. Dump this brown powder in your coffee and become 27% harder to kill. This is Black Forest high flavanol cocoa powder, and here's what's insane. A study with 21,000 people just showed that this might reduce a heart attack by 27%. Cocoa flavanols keeps your arteries flexible. Regular chocolate, 90% of the flavanols get destroyed during processing. It's like the difference between putting water in your gas tank and high octane. Harvard ran this study called the Cosmos Trial, the biggest study on cocoa ever. I'm going to show you a video where Dr. Eric Berg, one of the most watched health educators on YouTube, he's been talking about cocoa's benefits for years.
There's some seriously amazing benefits for the heart. Decreased blood pressure because you're getting increased nitric oxide, which actually helps the smooth muscle of the arteries. Now, the blood pressure effect can also happen due to the high levels of magnesium. It's also loaded with iron and potassium and copper and phosphorus and zinc. Number two, it can increase your HDL, decrease your LDL, especially the oxidized LDL. Number three, major studies showing the decrease in risk of heart disease, okay? This is the big one right here, decreasing endothelial dysfunction. This is where heart disease starts. It's the inside of the layer of the artery, specifically the coronary, that starts to become damaged, and then the cholesterol comes and the calcium comes and builds a plaquing and a clot. And so these antioxidants protect the inside layer of the artery.
That's exactly why I switched to Black Forest high flavanol cocoa. It's not candy, it's performance fuel. Every scoop delivers the same active compounds Harvard researchers linked to cardiovascular support, better blood flow, and even sharper focus. Think of it like your insurance policy, inside-out protection for your heart, brain, and stamina. I've been putting this in my coffee at 5 a.m. every morning. It's literally the first thing I put in my body. I'm telling you, within like 10 minutes, I'm wide awake, ready to go. It hits differently than just your regular cup. If you're looking for that extra insurance policy to keep that blood flowing and that ticker pumping, and you want to kick your coffee up a notch, this is what you're looking for. And here's the bottom line. This is the final week to stock up. Once October 30th passes, the buy one, get one free deal will be gone for good. Black Forest told me they're basically breaking even on this promo just to get it in your hands before prices go up, because cocoa prices have been skyrocketing worldwide over the last few months. We can't depend on big pharma or processed junk to protect our health. This is one of those rare times where the science is clear, but access is limited. So if you've been thinking about trying it, act now before it's gone again. Hit the link in the description or pinned comment, grab the deal while it lasts, and take control of your health before someone else does it for you.